All right, so one final video here. Okay, this is about histograms. This is a bar graph, and this is a histogram. And so today, we're going to talk about the differences because you've learned about bar graphs for several years now, okay? A bar graph, a lot of it can be numerical or categorical. This one just happens to be categorical. It means my bars are on categories of topics, but not numbers, okay? So categorical here, and they don't usually touch. A histogram, the bars touch here, but it's intervals of numbers. That's the biggest thing it is that it's intervals. So whatever this is representing, I don't know what that means, but this bar represents anything. This is the numbers 60 to 65, okay? This bar represents a number between 65 and 70. Maybe it's a 64, I don't know, okay? This isn't going to be from 70 to 75, 75 to 80, and then 80 to 85. Now, usually there's somewhere is a way to divide it, because if it's an 80, which one is it on? This graph doesn't show it so well. Usually the intervals are a little clearer, and we'll show some more examples of that. But that's the biggest difference between a histogram and a bar graph, is that your histogram is always numerical data, and it's based on numbers, and it's a range of numbers, okay? So we're going to practice building a histogram, and it won't take very long. All right, make sure we're focused here. Okay, there we go. Okay, a bird watcher counts and records the number of birds at a bird feeder every morning at 9 o'clock for several days. Okay, this is how many birds are there. So first thing we do is determine our intervals. So my numbers go from 1 up to 14. Well, if I make my intervals too small, I'm going to have a whole bunch of really small bars. So if I had like a 1 and a 2, 3, 4, I'd have small bars. If I had my intervals really broad, I would have maybe a 1 to 10 and then an 11 to 20. But, oh, sorry, y'all. But it would be a really, really small bar. It wouldn't be very fair, okay? So I'm going to show you how to set this up, okay? So I want to go through each number here. 12, I put a tally here and I mark it out. A 3, so 3 is between 1 and 4, and I mark it out. And one rule with your intervals is that they're always evenly spaced. So between a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 13, 14, 15, 16, okay? So they're all 4 units. An 8 would go here. A 1 would go here. Another 1 would go here. A 6 would go here. A 10 would go down here. My 14 would go here. My 3 would go here. And then I have a 6. A 2. So that little mark there means that's 5. That puts a set of 5, okay? A 1. So we make a little space. A 3. A 2. And a 7. Okay, so there were 8 mornings that there were between 1 and 4 birds at the bird feeder. And then there were 4 mornings that there were between 5 and 8 birds, okay? So what we did, we determined our intervals. That was already set up here. We organized the numbers on the frequency table. That's what we just did. This is called a frequency table, and we use little tally marks. Now we're going to use these amounts to create our bars that would look like, not your bar graph, but your histogram bars. So this is what I mean by interval, okay? That anything between 1 and 4 birds goes right here. So I'm going to number these. How many spaces do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, look at that. That's perfect. Now remember, we numbered these lines. Okay, so there were 8 days that there were between 1 and 4 birds. So I'm going to maybe give these little diagonal lines, okay? Okay, so then if I go over here and look at the 5 to 8 birds, there were 4 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It would go to right here. So maybe these look like that. And the first 4 little lines, okay? There were 2 days that had between 9 and 12 birds. So that's 2 days. Maybe my lines will go this way this time. And then 13 to 16 birds was only 1 day. So I'm going to put that little box right here and draw that bar there, okay? This is a histogram. My bars here touch. They're right up against each other, but these are done in intervals to show amounts of something, but in a certain range, okay? You're going to be continuing to practice these while I'm out for the next few days, okay? But I want to see your very, very best behavior.